Your marketing sucks. I hate that I'm the one to have to tell you this, but at the same time, I count it as an honor and a privilege to tell you this. Let me guess, you are using regurgitated marketing best practices from some marketing thought leader who hasn't done anything new in the past decade, but for some reason, you're holding on to their very words like a lifeline and putting them on a Mount Rushmore like they're a fairy tale. Doing the same thing, hoping for bigger, better outcomes, as if the audience hasn't changed, as if the platforms haven't changed, as if the very people you're trying to convert into business, customers and clients, aren't smarter. Yeah, let's do the same process and hope for better performance from advice that was given 10 years ago. Brilliant. What's the definition of insane again? But I digress. Want to know what separates the contenders from the pretenders, the A-listers from the C-listers, the world champions, and second best? Simple. The fourth quarter.
Red 42, hut, hike!
In football, in basketball, or most major sports, the fourth quarter is where the magic happens. It's where games are won. It's where champions are made. And in business, it's where sales teams become legends. That's why HubSpot built Sales Hub to give sales reps the deal-making tools they need to win in their fourth quarter. Sales Hub's prospecting workspace organizes your schedule, your goals, and your to-do list in one place to save your team precious fourth quarter time. And Smart Sequences help sales reps close deals faster than ever. With Sales Hub, reps have the right information at the right time to build better relationships, which means closing deals has never been easier, faster, or more effective. So this Q4, give your team the tools to win big with HubSpot Sales Hub. Then pat yourself on the back while watching them come through in the clutch all quarter long. So get ready to dominate Q4 with Sales Hub. Learn more at HubSpot.com/sales.
Blue 32, set, ha!
The reality and the truth, the real truth, the unapologetic truth. If you're not getting results, your marketing sucks. I'm sorry, you spent all year developing this roadmap that you've been trying to implement for the last 3 months. Ain't working. Time to pivot. Time to swerve. It's amazing to me how in certain aspects of a business, we can switch just like that. But then in other aspects of the business that actually are drivers to not only sustainability, but financial freedom and success and scalability at that, we tend to get comfortable in the task and the tactics of it and not the strategy and the implementation, the optimization of it. We're just holding true to this thing as if, well, just give it a little more time. It's going to work. Just give it 1 more year. 1 more year. Let's just dump another 50K, 100K, 500K into this campaign. I bet you it's going to work. You know what we need? We need a bigger celebrity. The campaign's perfect. It just needs a bigger face. And then watch, it's going to work. It's going to blow up. Are you going to tell him or am I going to tell him? Are we going to tell him? That's not how this works. You could be doing far better things with that money, far better things with an influencer marketing campaign. If the foundation of the marketing campaign is garbage, I don't care what celebrity you put on top of that garbage, it's still going to smell. Why can't we just wake up to the reality truth that your marketing sucks? And that it requires better marketing from people who are actually in it right now. And those people who are in it right now, who are making the results happen, oh my goodness, they're not big time names from 10, 15, 20 years ago. that got their start and their brand persona defined by being the first to the .com era, the first on the podcast era, the first in the certain subsets of public speaking circuits, the first in the evolution of LinkedIn marketing, Pinterest marketing, YouTube. Put whatever in whatever, insert top 100 from XYZ criteria. Boom, there they are. Those people may not be relevant right now, and especially not relevant for you and your particular needs as a business or entrepreneur right now. So where does that leave you? Now, don't get me wrong. The empath in me is like, there are lessons learned from the past that hold true even today. People still quote all the greats even now. Not saying not to quote them. I'm just saying, if the best practice is irrelevant, it is no longer a best practice. It is a former best practice that we can reflect and learn from, not try to still implement as this new thing. If it ain't working, it ain't working. Now let's go very micro here. As a BIPOC entrepreneur, as a BIPOC marketer, there's certain insights, there's certain perspectives, there's certain tactics and strategies that many people quote and just throw out there immediately that aren't going to work for people like us from the jump, out the gate. And I don't think certain groups of individuals who may not be aware or cognizant of factors and variables that they may have never experienced or witnessed or have had to have navigated through would break their heart knowing that this doesn't work for everybody. So what do you do when your best practices aren't relevant for the whole? Though this whole time you've been telling everybody, and I mean everybody, that it is. That means your marketing just doesn't suck. Your marketing is not inclusive. Your marketing is not as fluid. It's not as agile as you thought it was. It's not applicable to the masses. Therefore, it's so micro that only a subset of a subset of a subset of a segment of a group of individuals can actually access it, understand it, apply it, fund it, and wait it out long enough to reach this massive amount of success that you paint on the front of the calling card of the event, of the book, of the show, of the course, of what you're selling. But when we go 10 pages in, oh, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work for me. Now imagine the marketing for those pieces of materials to the very consumer that they may think this is gonna work for them and then it doesn't. So good marketing to give people bad marketing, that means that they'll keep coming back to you because the marketing that you gave them didn't work for them. But it's not them, it's me. I executed it wrong. I read it wrong. I watched the video 10 times and I misunderstood. No, it wasn't designed for you to understand. They didn't consider your particular pathway or your particular problem from your vantage point when they created the source material that they're selling you for you to buy. That's probably not going to work, not even 20%, if any, to the standard that they have painted the picture for you when you clicked buy.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the I Digress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
No, I am not a conspiracy theorist of marketing tactics and strategies. No, I don't have a bone to pick with anybody. I'm just trying to keep it 100. Your marketing sucks. And in many cases, the reason your marketing sucks is not your fault. It is the consumption of the wrong things. It is the putting the wrong people or voices on a pedestal. If the results from their efforts aren't hitting home for you, why are you following them? Why are you listening to them? Why are you consuming what they're dishing out? Listen, I'm not going to keep coming to the same restaurant if the restaurant food ain't hitting. Why would I keep coming? Why would I keep paying all that money? Why would I wait all that time and the food's not hitting? I don't care how great the ambiance is. I don't care how amazing it looks on the outside. If the food ain't good for my liking, why would I keep coming to that restaurant? And if the marketing tactics and strategies that you're consuming, that you're trying to implement aren't working, yeah, maybe at some points you may say, it's probably me. It's a bad day. But after so long, the data speaks for itself. This isn't working. Yeah, I could be implementing this wrong, or it's just a terrible tactic It's terrible marketing that I've inherited, that I'm trying to apply, that is no longer relevant or applicable for me in this particular moment in my business, in this industry, in this era. What used to work on social media doesn't work no more. What used to be the one and done thing for paid ads doesn't work no more. How SEO works doesn't work the same way no more. When you're looking at Google and ChatGPT and all the evolutions of AI with a smarter audience who demands more, who everyone says is less attention span, but really people want better content. What do? How are we going to navigate this? Well, here's my thoughts. Number one, we have to acknowledge the era that we're in. We have to acknowledge we may be outdated in our knowledge and understanding and our perception of the situation, our analysis of our audience. Our vantage point of the digital world may be flawed and may need some recalibrating. How about we start off with that conversation? As a growth marketing strategist, that's typically what I like to have and do with people. You know what? Let's look at the world from your vantage point, and let's go mega wide here. Let's zoom all the way out, and let's compare notes. And maybe, just maybe, we'll discover things are different. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see patterns that we've chosen out of comfort and habit and blaming XYZ for it. Or maybe we're doing all the right things, but to all the wrong people, on the wrong platform, the wrong type of content. And if we just recalibrated these things, boom, exponential growth is going to now happen. So where does that leave us? Well, we can take the blue pill, just keep going the same course, or we can take the red pill and explore something new. That may be uncomfortable. No one likes change. No one likes to acknowledge and wake up one day and realize everything that I knew about a particular thing and how I did and the way I did that made me the money or the success that I had in times past isn't going to work now. That is a hard thing to reconcile in our minds sometimes as entrepreneurs, as executive leaders. The information and strategies and things that I've learned are outdated from people who I consider Mount Rushmore in my field or industry or marketing or sales or whatever, but their names are timeless. Sure, but times have changed. Their names are timeless, but times have changed. So are you going to get with the times or be stuck in the past, wishing, hoping your business would do better and be better? I leave that up to you. What does it take to create things that last? Stories that spread like wildfire, and ideas that move people for decades to come. Create Like the Greats, hosted by the great Ross Simmons, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Each episode, Ross dives into an in-depth analysis of some of the greatest creations and creators of all time, along with deep dive conversations on the actual creative process that went into building companies, brands, stories, and more. If you like learning about history, learning about the creative process, trust, you'll love this podcast. As a very dear creator that I've been consuming for a very long time, Ross is easy to listen to. He's so knowledgeable, and he has the ability to break down topics in a way that are practical, that are valuable to his audience, and give them the action to do the things they need to do to create like the greats. Listen to Create Like the Greats wherever you get your podcasts. Now, what you can do, what you should do, what you ought to do is take a breath. Imagine what it is that you want. Imagine how you want this to go about, and then compare notes. And let's see what it is you actually want, what it is that you actually need, and maybe the how as which you hope to achieve your want and your need. Are they aligned or they're not? The other thing I want to make clear is that marketing is not easy. It is hard. This notion that people just think, I'm going to create a social media profile, I'm going to get a mic, I'm going to create some content, and the money's just going to flow. That's not reality. Did you make a call to action? Did you create a strategy as to the type of content that you're creating? Is that type of content on the platform that you're creating on talking to the direct audience who's watching this right now? And is the person or the group of people who are watching this going to be like, I need that, I want that, I have to have that, and the amount of money you drop and saying it's going to cost this amount of money, they're not going to flinch at it. All right, bet. Boom, here's the money. And they are holding the respect with the expectations that you're going to be able to deliver off of what you're saying. It's not just, I created some content, TikTok dance moves, me in a suit, me in a hoodie, whatever. Podcast mic, look at me, I'm cool, I'm tactical, I'm awesome, buy from me. No, please. It's one thing to follow a trend of perception. It's another thing to have real brand perception backed by results that have proven to drive revenue or drive impact or have been a direct result as a conduit to what people actually need and want that you can claim back and trace back to you as a deliverer or a conduit or a bridge to, that people say, I want to work with that person. I want to hire that person. I want to listen to what that person has to say. Are you about that life or not? Are you known to be the go-to in that particular deliverable, in that particular industry, for that particular amount of money that the market deems worthy and worth paying for, that people want and need right now? If your business model isn't aligned with that, you ain't making no money. If your marketing can't prove and drive that home from a community or a cultural perspective, you ain't making no money. If your pipeline, from the first moment they are introduced to you, to the moment they see your call to action, to the moment the choice is yours now, red pill or blue pill, if it ain't streamlined, you ain't making no money. So, to all you out there, assume from the jump your marketing sucks, but know that if you open up your mind and look to see what is actually working and not working, and see the players who are moving things now, 95% of them are new. And so we might need to let go and put to rest a lot of the old best practices that we've held on to and acknowledge it's time for a change. It's time to learn new things. It's time to learn from new people. It's time to study new practices, new trends, and look for the marketing tactics and strategies that align with who we are now and where we're trying to go. Not who we were, not where we were, not what got us to where we are now. That's the past. That's irrelevant. You look like a high school jock holding on to the glory years because you haven't moved on to the reality that what was is no longer is, that what was relevant is no longer relevant. And you either need to get with the times and update your caliber of mind and marketing and strategy and operations, or you're stuck and things are going to dwindle down to oblivion. Your choice. What are you going to do? Now that we've addressed the elephant in the room, my challenge to you, what are you going to do about it?
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.